All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Makera live stream. Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, depending on whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. So thank you again for joining us for another live stream. I know that we are all super excited to chat about some really exciting things happening with Makera right now. Just quick introductions. My name is Jason. I'm the education director for Makera. I'm coming to you from the East Coast in New Jersey of the United States. And my role in the company is to help everyone get up to speed and learn how to use our CNC machines, not just our education customers, but all of our customers, as you learn how to create awesome things. And hopefully you all learn some cool things here in this stream. And listen, as always, I'm joined by a good colleague on the other side of the world. Rulof, how are you doing, bud?
I'm doing very good. Thank you very much. It's good to be here. I'm tuning in from 1 a.m. cold South Africa. Right in the morning, so it's nice and cozy, and it's good to be here with everybody. I also see some other people from Europe side, so thank you for staying awake and joining us. This is going to be a super exciting live stream, and we're excited to just do some giveaways, and give stuff away. What do you say, Jason?
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of giveaways for sure.
Yeah. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Rulof, and I am the User Experience Director for Makera. I also manage the tech support team, help everybody with their machine things. And yeah, let's get right into it. We're super excited.
Yeah, for sure.
And we also have some cool things coming up. I'm traveling in the next few weeks. I'm going over to the US. We are going to the open source. That's next month, July the 18th to the 19th. And we're very excited to get together with the team and, see everybody there that already has our machines and show them the new product stuff that we have. It's just an exciting time.
If anyone's in the area, open source is such a cool event. I think last year was most of our first times going. I've gone to many maker fairs, but that was a pretty cool event. Lots of cool projects, makers, and definitely stop by. We're going to be right on the main expo floor, and we have some hands-on activities going on, so you can get hands-on with our machines and chat with Roloff, myself. A bunch of the other team members are flying in for that, and it should be great. But first, of course, Roloff, you are flying here. You're going to come visit me. You're going to be in the shop, so pretty excited for that too.
That's very excited for that.
Yeah.
We're gonna spend some time there, and we're gonna make some cool things with the new Z1s.
Yeah, for sure.
We're super excited for that. We'll definitely make some content and post it on YouTube and wherever on social media.
Stay tuned, everybody. So listen, what are we doing tonight? Well, this is our pre-sale party live. So today was the launch of the Makera Z1 pre-sale, which means that we're officially out of the Kickstarter backing phase. And again, a huge thank you to all 10,000 something, almost 11,000 or whatever it was backers. Immensely beyond our expectations, phenomenal support. So thank you everybody who supported this project to get off the ground. It is officially off the ground and flying. So starting today, folks can just go on Makera.com and order a retail Z1. But as it's the pre-sale, we have some cool promotions for you to get some early savings and things like that with the Z1. So let me tell you about that. We're going to talk about Z1 updates for our Kickstarter backers. As Roloff said, we're going to give a ton of stuff away, and we're going to get hands-on with our Z1s, the accessories, and the things that you might be considering to just kind of show you why you might pick one thing or the other thing, and hopefully, again, let everyone kind of learn how some cool stuff can be made, right? So first and foremost, right now, the pre-sale launched today, and it is a chance for you to get some additional savings with the purchase of a retail Makera Z1 or Z1 Pro. Essentially, you can get $100 off during the pre-sale, which brings the retail of the Makera Z1 from $1,199 US to $1,099 US for the Z1, or the Z1 Pro, again, $100 off from $1,599 down to $1,499. So some additional savings. But there's also some cool exclusive gifts and priority shipping, but only while supplies last. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. Makera.com, head over to the Z1 page. Oops, wrong button. Head over to the Z1 page. Here we go. And you can see that we have our pre-sale. Now, the first phase of the pre-sale is ending at the end of the month, June 30th. And you definitely get the most freebies and prizes and earliest shipping during this phase. You'll notice that we are going to be shipping in mid-July and August for everyone who purchases during the pre-sale. But again, slots are limited. So right now we can see that there's 355 slots left for your Z1 to ship in mid-July. Once that fills up, any Z1 that's ordered during the pre-sale is going to ship during August, and then again after and after and after. So the earlier you go, the earlier your Z1 ships. But again, there's some additional savings and things like that. So within the Pioneer Wave, we have some different discounts. You can see that all these accessories are discounted from anywhere 10%, 27%, or whatever it is. So these are accessories for the Z1 that you can consider tacking on to your order. And again, we have some cool prizes and gift values. So during the Pioneer Wave, and that ends on the 30th, you get some additional gifts like collets and adapters and all this cool stuff that comes with your Z1 at no additional cost. And again, that is just for the Pioneer Wave, which ends on the 30th. So that's in addition to the $100 savings and things like that we have during the pre-sale. You can also see that there's a bunch of bundles, and these bundles have different discounted accessories. You can save some money on the different accessories depending on like the 4th axis, the laser, the toolkits, etc. We're going to be talking about all these accessories tonight. We're going to be showing you like the 3D probe and how that stuff works. So if you're not really sure what these things are, just stick with us. We're going to go through it. We're going to get hands-on with our Z1s. We're going to show you all this cool stuff that is now available for purchase. I think the most important things to understand right now is that the pre-sale is active. Go to Makera.com. You can purchase this machine, the Z1 and the Z1 Pro. You can save yourself $100 off the MSRP, as well as get additional gifts, early priority shipping, but again, only while supplies last. So definitely check that out.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's super exciting. Things are happening. Things are rolling. And while we talking about things that's rolling, the Z1 shipping updates. Let me just give, I see people are asking a lot of questions about it. We will be finishing shipping all the standard Z1 Kickstarter machines this week. So wow. I think that's quite a big achievement for us. That's obviously huge. Yeah, obviously now we're moving on to the Z1 Pro, which will start to ship next week. So things are happening very soon. Everything's in progress. I also want to update on the beta testing updates for Makerables and Makera Studio. First of all, thank you to all the people that participated in our beta groups. All is going well, and everything is still on schedule for the testing and for the beta testing. So just to remind you guys, we asked a bunch of people to join Makerables Phase 2, and then also Makera Studios beta group in our last stream. And we're also having a competition for Makerable projects that's being shared on Makerables. So we can just see what you guys are making, and you can like make your own posts about it. But there's definitely room for more people. So if you're still interested to hop on that, you know, there's a bunch of prizes and giveaways that you can win for just making cool project posts. It's basically a way for us to get content onto Makerables. Obviously, we will push a lot more from our side, but it's about a community. It's about your projects. It's about the cool things that you make on your Makera machines. It's not necessarily only for the Z1. It's for Carveras. It's for Carvera Air. So yeah, please join us. If there's still spots, we will share a link in the chat.
Shared link is in the chat,
yes.
Folks. Check that out.
Thank you, Jason. So you can just follow that link, sign up there. You'll get approved, and then we'll also add you to the Discord channel where we have the discussions about Studio and Makerables and how we can improve it, how we can find some bugs, things like that. And fixes, obviously.
And I want to add too, Rolf, you made a good point. Like it could be, some folks were asking like, well, is this where Makera is going to share all your projects and stuff? Yes. Those of you that have been with us for a while, you know that we have a wiki site and we have our YouTube channel, and our team works so hard to make really cool sample projects and demos. And every project we publish, we share the files so you can make it too. All of that is migrating to Makerables. So yeah, we have, anytime you watch like the warm-up video of those rings and that jewelry and all that stuff, all of our official content is going to be a Makearables post, and most of it's already on there now for those that are in the beta group. But as Roelof said, like it's a community. You know, we are so fortunate to have 20-something thousand strong users with the addition of the Z1 folks. And, you know, you're all super creative, and we learned so much from you and our social medias and our Discord and all that stuff. So giving all of you a chance to like share and collaborate and share projects that are for CNC machines is really exciting. So definitely check that out either now during the beta, or of course once the beta concludes in about a month or so, along with the Makera Studio, which we talked about in our last stream, and we'll definitely talk a little bit about tonight as well.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get too technical in today's stream. I think it's more about exciting stuff, you know, just showcasing some basics. We're not gonna get too technical, and actually just giving away things, and maybe just giving away big things.
I think it's time to do the first giveaway too.
Yeah, so let me explain to you how the first giveaway will work. So from our last live stream, I actually mentioned, and on email, we gathered a lot of emails, and we are actually going to be giving away one Z1 to start off this live stream. So we collected the email on the pre-sale on the website, and now, from all that people that put up their email on that list, we are going to draw
6,534 people.
That's a lot of people. That's almost like the amount of Kickstarter people. Maybe someone's getting luckier tonight and maybe get their second Z1. Who knows? So yeah, I think while we're in it, I'll get you set up there, Jason. We have a whole list. We're gonna put it in this random. What do you call it? Wheel of names. Wheel of names. We're going to put it in wheel of names, and then we're going to draw the first lucky winner. So there's 6,500 people on this list, and we have to select one person.
Yeah, one person for the Z1. Now, if you're sticking with us and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I didn't put my email in before the pre-sale, what do I do? Well, stick with us, because we have many more giveaways throughout the stream, including another Z1 to everyone that's with us in the YouTube.
Yep.
So this is not the only Z1 that's going to be given away, folks. So stick with us here. But again, as Roelof said, all of these emails were entered in the pre-sale warm-up on our site, and we're going to draw one of them. Are we ready to do it?
Let's go.
All right, cool. I want to point out Wheel of Names is a really cool website that I used when I was a classroom teacher. So it's just, we didn't make this. This is just going to randomly pick. We dropped in all of our names. We obviously hid the emails, but we know your ticket number. So we know your email. So we'll email you saying, wow, you won, if you can't recognize which email is yours. So don't worry about that. So we got you covered there. But yeah, it's just going to randomly pick a name from this list that's already been randomized. So let's spin.
Let's go.
I hope it can handle 6,000 names. I'll be honest, in my classroom, I had like 24 students. So
yeah,
we might be pushing this site to the limit here.
Let's see.
But yeah, hopefully it's going to spin for a bit and then just pick a random name, and then we'll see who won a Z1.
Let's see.
It's still spinning. It's still spinning.
Let it spin. Let's build attention.
Let's be patient. Ooh, maybe. Here we go. Hey, ticket 5,354, a high at something. You just won a free Makera Z1. So congratulations to you. I have no idea who you are, but my team does. They're going to look up this ticket number, your email, and they will be in touch with how to get your machine out to you. So congratulations for getting a brand new Makera Z1. That's super awesome. We're really excited for you there.
Super excited. Maybe it's someone that already has one. Maybe that's someone that doesn't have one. Maybe it's someone, that just wants to get into CNC machining, and this is a great opportunity and a machine to do this with.
Yeah. For sure. I will say that two of them side by side has been really enjoyable for me. I just got these last week, and we've been doing a lot of content creation, a lot of testing. We have, of course, our whole YouTube how-to series coming out soon to get everyone up to speed with how to use their machines. So lots of content creation and things like that happening in the studio, and it's been a lot of fun to have these things really being put through the paces here.
Yeah, on my side as well, I have two here, and my team is using it day in and day out. We're making some cool things, and we're also making some content. We have an unboxing video that's also coming up, so keep an eye out on that.
Yeah.
And
Super good. I think let's roll into, again, why are we doing this? So who is the Z1 for? What is the Z1 all about? So yeah, Roloff and I are just going to kind of run through some of our favorite things. We're going to talk about the Z1, talk about all the cool different features. If you are considering buying one, what should, or what accessories do you need for the types of projects you want to do? If you've already got one and you're just really eagerly waiting for that shipment notification for it to be arriving, we want to get you even more excited about the stuff that you've ordered, right? So, and of course, also answering your questions. So we see that there's some cool, questions in the chat, and go ahead and drop them in. We're keeping an eye on it. We're going to answer your questions and things like that. And we'll do our best to kind of explain as much as we can in such a short amount of time, right? So first and foremost, who is the Z1 for? Well, everybody. In reality, I would never say that about a CNC in the past, because getting into CNC machining has typically been such a high ceiling. It's been, it's for, if anyone's new to CNC machining, and I'm calling it CNCs, but I'm really talking about mills, lathes, routers, some type of cutting, spindle, subtractive manufacturing. It's difficult. I mean, it's there's things to consider. It's not just a design. It's a skill level of operating a machine. It's using bits and cutting tools and stock and feeds and speeds, and it's a lot. And in general, these machines have always been very industrial, very large, very heavy. But now, with the launch of the Carvera and the Carvera Air and many other companies that are kind of following in our footsteps here, they've gotten a little bit smaller, a little bit more accessible. And the Z1 is the first CNC that's really designed to kind of feel like a 3D printer in a good way, in that it's not that heavy. It only weighs, I don't know, about 40 pounds, 50 pounds US. I think that's what, 30 something kilos or something. I'm not good at the on conversion thing. So right. One person can easily pick it up. It's super lightweight. It's really quiet to be running as a CNC. And it's also, as far as the capability goes in terms of high precision, working with woods, metals, plastics, it's really capable too. So it's designed for anybody who wants to get into CNC machining and subtractive manufacturing. It's supposed to take that high ceiling, that industrial, you need a machine shop and a lot of skill to get into this, to being like, no, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to break bits. The machine's going to be fine. Like, make stuff, kind of like how 3D printing has evolved over the last decade and plus. We're hoping that CNCs continue to do the same. So it's for everybody. And let me pull up my other cam so you guys can see a little bit better. Roloff, I'm going to make our faces small here while I talk. So yeah, listen, so this is my Z1. This is not a Z1 Pro. This is the standard Z1, but visually from this angle, you really wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the Z1 and the Z1 Pro because they use the same overall structure, the overall frame. They just have different motors and drive controls and things like that inside of the machine, which perhaps we'll get a little bit more into about what that means for you. But initially, again, lightweight machine, solid aluminum chassis here, so really high levels of rigidity. Super flexible and versatile bed. This is a very similar system to what we've used on all of our other CNC machines. This is, I believe, 200 mil. Is that right? Is that the metric number about? But it's about 8 inches by 8 inches US. So, a really usable size. It's, of course, not a massive 8-foot CNC router. It's a much smaller, higher precision machine than that. So you could be making really detailed, I'm just going to grab something off my project shelf, really detailed engravings and things like that as you're working on your projects, again, in a wide range of materials. A lot of you, I'm sure, have seen our early Kickstarter review videos with the prototype Z1. Some of you, I'm sure, have even run into us at CES or Open Source or IFA or something, and you've seen some early prototypes. The production spec has changed a lot. If you've been following our Kickstarter updates, the team has been doing a lot to really improve the overall build quality, the sound dampening, the repeatability of this, and really improving this machine. I think the most noticeable things you could probably see from this camera angle is the aero dust system. So this is our first CNC that doesn't have a dedicated dust shoe, meaning that you can hook up a vacuum like the Cyclone Light here, but there isn't a shoe to collect the dust. Instead, what happens is that the dust is pushed to the back of the machine where there's vacuum ports to then suck it up. The Z1 production Z1 has a number of changes in that you can now not only hook up a vacuum for suction, you can also hook up the Cyclone Light for cooling and for air circulation as well. So there's the port on the back of the vacuum that I know you can't see, that is suction. And then there's the port on the side of the vacuum right here that actually is blowing air through the chamber. And it's blowing air from the front here to push the chips back. It blows air from the spindle fan. It blows air from within this inner pocket right here to, again, push all your heavy chips back to give you really nice cooling, dust collection, still in a super compact box just by connecting a couple accessories. And of course, the Cyclone light can also be used as an air purifier for laser engraving and will turn on automatically with the machine, which is pretty cool. And what else are we looking at here? This is cool. This is our anti-static accessory. So what this guy will do is it basically removes all the static energy from the chamber. So that way you don't have, like, I was actually just machining ABS and like plastics, and all these chips typically stick everywhere. If anyone's ever machined ABS or acrylic, like, just think snowstorm. There's just plastic everywhere, plastic on the lid, plastic on every single thing. So the anti-static really removes that energy. So even the plastic particles and all the stuff that can collect that static energy just falls to the back, which is super cool. I do love the fact that we've carried over a very similar quick tool change system like what we have with the Carvera Air. So if I wanted to load a tool, I could just simply bring this handle down. It locks in place, so it locks in the open position. Insert my cutting tool, and then there we go. So super easy tool changes. And of course, you can put in an 1/8 mil, 1/4 inch bit, 6 mil bit, 4 mil bit. You can put in a bunch of different bit shank diameters. And those of you that are new to CNC machining, the fact that this has automatic tool setting, like our other CNCs, is also fantastic. So what that means is even though I manually put the tool in and I do the tool change, the machine every single time measures the length of the tool and automatically offsets my work height based on that tool length. And that is what will save you hours of calibration and setup with your CNC, in my opinion, as somebody who's done hours of calibration and setup in the past. So lots of really cool features, super lightweight, really easy to use. And obviously, I'm a big fan. I'm a little biased, but I'm a big fan. It does some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Am I missing something to roll off? I was going to show the Z probe. Do you have anything to add real quick, though, before I show the scan margin and the Z probe?
No, I mean, you've got the anchor point bracket there. I'm not sure if it's mounted in that position there,
but it's loosely mounted.
Yeah, loosely mounted. That's the one position of the anchor point bracket, the L-shaped bracket. But you can also place it in a different position. It's got two positions. This one also has like measurements on it.
That's our new anchor bracket, right? Yeah. So you can see where your stock is. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. It's the same anchor position bracket as what we have for the Carvera and the Carvera Air. We just gave it a nice little redesign, which is super cool.
Yeah. And there's two positions for it, and it has the main mounting screws, but it also has alignment pins for very high accuracy, positioning for that bracket. Yeah. I also want to add that all our machines that you see right here, they're all like covered in anti-rust oils. So you shouldn't have problems, even if there's a single case or, this is not something that you can expect from our machines, because it is something that we have addressed and we will even further address even better on future machines. So you guys do not have to worry about that.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, on that, all of our machines are coming with a full warranty. We cover you. I mean, you're talking to the tech support team right now.
Yeah.
He's the head of our customer user experience. I'm the head of training. So, we're the people that are going to be working with you to make sure that you know how to use this and get this up to speed. So, let me show you one more thing here in just, again, ease of use, right? And those of you that might be familiar with 3D printing, this is something similar to this, is your setup, right? So let's just say I have my stock. I'm not clamping it at all right now. So I'm not actually going to cut this. We're going to talk about clamping and stuff in a minute. But I need to know, where is my project? Is it in the right spot? How tall is it, right? So this does have, by default, it comes with every machine, the wired Z probe, right? So this guy just locks right in place. You can see that I'm automatically plugged in here. And the wired Z probe does a lot more than just measuring the height of your stock. It also tells you where your stock's going to be. So I'm in Makera Studio Beta right now. Let me just make sure I'm connected to the right machine. I think I am, which is cool.
Look at that nice. Let's just take a second. Look at your nice list of machines there.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm in
you
my
can see all
shop
the
with a bunch
machines
of
in the
machines.
background.
You know, some of
Yeah,
them are off right now, but yeah, I can connect to any of my machines, which are pretty cool. If I actually
yeah,
search here, you should be able to see that I have all my machines ready to go, nice and labeled, which is nice. So,
very nice.
yeah. So listen, I have this super simple project. I want to cut it out, right? I think I know where I want it to be, but I'm not 100% sure where I am. So I can, of course, start to machine this, or I can just use something like do margin, right? And I can say, all right, I think I want it to be here. Maybe I want it to be like, I don't know, 10 and 30 mil, and I could get out a ruler or something like that. But let's just check where we want to be. And I'm going to hit do margin. Yep. I'm going to make sure that the file's there. And let me make this big.
I got us.
So, you know, can you guys see this here? Let me bring this guy in a little bit. You can see your laser pointer is showing you exactly where I'm going to be machining this part. Of course, the same Z probe is going to automatically touch the stock and measure it if I was actually going to cut it out. And again, in terms of ease of use, the setup is often the biggest area of failure in a CNC project, is that you clamp your stock, you get it set up or something like that, and it just doesn't quite work out the way that you want it to go. So anything that optimizes your setup is really critical, and is what's going to really foster a high level of success. And let me just show one last thing before I pass it over to Roloff here, is again, the versatility of this machine. And this goes to really any of them, the Carvera Air, but perhaps because of the size, this one is maybe just a little bit easier. I don't have my bed clamped right now because I was moving things around and doing a bunch of stuff. But let's say that my project calls for something totally different. I don't want to use the alignment holes and things like that to clamp something down. I want to do a 4th axis project or even a vise. You know, it takes a minute to pop one accessory off, and then, let me find my holes, pop another accessory on, you know, to then be able to align and clamp something in place and do a totally different type of project with the same machine. So all those projects you saw in our warm-up video of like rings and keychains and carbon fiber parts and car parts and engravings and whatever, your work origin and all that stuff is easy to swap and change to without having to completely change and overhaul your workspace, which again comes down to why this machine is really great for everybody. Hang on, how do I get us back? Us back. I removed us here. Please hold. At the stage. There we are.
There we go. We're back.
So
yeah, so
cool.
that's such a cool accessory. The vise, it can be used in so many different ways, and as you see, the way that you mount it, there's alignment pins that gives it a very accurate positioning. And then if you use the 4th axis, you just pop off the vise, you put the 4th axis in. If you want to use the vacuum bed, you pop off the 4th axis, you put the vacuum bed in. So it's very versatile, and the way that you can quickly use different clamping mechanisms makes it quite easy for you to use, and also makes it, you know, useful in so many different cases, and for different projects, things like that. Maybe I can give you a little close up and to see what that looks like.
Yeah,
up close. I actually have my box right here, and I'll put it right down in front of me so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing over here. So this is, I've already opened this, so it's not packaged 100% with the packaging materials, but I'll show you exactly how this works and just show you the close-up of what this is. You know, you can see these things are like solid bar aluminum, and it's polished. This is nice and clear. So, and then the whole vise looks like this, and it's a beefy unit. This thing is pretty solid, and with it mounted to the bed, you know, it's very rigid, so you can actually clamp down materials on many different ways. I have a piece of aluminum here to just kind of show you as an example how you can use this. Now, these are different jaws basically for the vise. Now, currently, you can see this jaws. I need to get this angle right. So this one has a little edge at the top here. So in many cases, you want to mount your material lifted like that, so you can easily cut through your material. So now you can cut right through the material without actually damaging the plate. Where in some cases you might just be milling the. Okay, you can just exchange these with the other ones, and in many cases you just want to mount the material and maybe just mill the top side of it. So you can then use the other vices and clamps, obviously not like this, but to actually put everything in position and use it. And obviously this can be used in this can be used for many different materials, not only for aluminium, but for, lots of different other metals, soft non-ferrous metals like brass or copper, even PCBs, wood pieces, carbon fiber pieces. It's very versatile, and you can use it in many different ways.
I also love that you can make, custom jaws and fixtures, right? Like I know a lot of our customers do coins. So you can machine like little crescent jaws that will come in and just grab your round or oval stock and things like that for custom setups and alignment.
Yeah. I mean, you can even use these, that's included in the box, to actually mill away. If you're doing like some sort of production of a coin, for example, you can cut a jig into this jaw and then place it into position where you can use it for your specific job or something like that. Obviously, you just need some alignment for it. But there's so many different ways that you can actually use this. So we're very excited about the device. This can also be used on any of our other machines. You can use it. You can use it in many different ways. You see, there's a slot on the side of the vise here, which you can use to clamp on different machines. On that side as well. But the alignment holes is for the Z1 specific, but you can use it in so many different ways. And
there's other vices in the works with easier alignments and things like that for other users as well. So definitely stay tuned there, folks.
Yeah. So that's the vice. What else can I show here?
Why don't you show the toolkit? I kind of talked about how easy it is to get started, but I kind of forgot to tell people what they get other than the Z Probe when they buy the Z1.
Let's see. A whole box of goodies here. All right, so toolkit.
I thought I caught you off guard too. I thought you were gonna be like, "Give me a minute, let me go find my toolkit." But you were so prepared.
I got you. Everything's right here. My little stack of things that we can talk over today. So look at this. Now look at this thing. We're very excited about this new toolkit. Show it like that. You can see everything in here. There's a little multi-tool in here. We have a few tools that runs here. We have some top clamps. We have the L-shaped bracket. This is a collet remover tool, and then we have some screws and some alignment pins, and then we have this cool thing, which is a bit collar installer. Yeah. So you use this. So this is just a tool, for example. You use this. Be careful when picking up your tools. They are very sharp, by the way. But you use this tool to actually mount this collar in position. And it's quite useful. You actually, with this one, you actually put in the cap. You put in the cap right into this position here with the tool mounted in this clamp, and then you'd push this in all the way to the front, and then you'll just screw in like that to put in the collar. This one obviously does have a collar on already, but very versatile. And then you have this thing at the back that clips out the back here, that you put in the back. That you put in the back of this part, and then you can actually use this to push out the collar from existing tools. So a very useful tool.
I also want to point out two things real quick, Roloff. There's a couple questions coming up. You're showing the standard toolkit right now. So this for everyone that's watching, this is the standard toolkit that comes with our Z1s. Some people are asking, what about like the extra side clamps or the thicker bracket? Those you can tack on, and I think many people did in the in their Kickstarter order and stuff like that. But this is like the standard toolkit that comes with our Z1s of what's in the box.
Yeah. So this is the things that you can expect. You have some screws over here. You have 3 different length screws. I'm sorry, they're all the same size. It's not.
No, there's 2 different lengths. There should be 2 different lengths, I think. I think there should be a couple slightly long ones and then medium ones.
You're right.
I think they're 20 mils and 30 mils.
Yeah. There's a 20 mil and there's a 30 mil one. So you have 2 different screws for, different applications, different thickness of stocks. And you know, these top clamps, they can be used in so many different ways. If you look at this in detail, this clamp, it has 4 different edges. So this has got a deep slot on the one end, and it's got a flat how do you say, a more shallow slot on the opposite side. So if you're clamping materials on the top of it, or you're just clamping it as at a slight edge, then you can use the different edges of this clamp to actually clamp the material down. If you have like very complex jobs, things like that, I even use the clamps in like some methods like this, where you actually need some support for the clamp to get it level. You can actually use this to, like, you know, in many different orientations, like you need to clamp material down. You know, people mill some interesting shaped things. So just a normal top clamp might not be the right tool, but you can use it in so many different ways.
Yeah. And there's a couple other, sorry, Roloff, there's a couple other comments of just like what you're saying here. Some people are saying like, ooh, I like the new top clamps, or I like the new bit collar installer, or the new multi-tool. Those are all upgrades and improvements of the previous generation. So those are all available in the store. So if you're like a Carvera user right now saying like, I do want the bigger, easier to use bit collar installer, those are in our store. So definitely check them out along with their new multi-tool and things like that. Yeah.
Talk about the multi-tool. This is quite a cool upgrade, I think, from our previous screwdriver. So this one is literally, you have a cap that you unscrew and you put the specific screw size in here, and then you have a screwdriver, and you have all the different screwdrivers you need to access on the machine. And if you screw open the back, you'll see here are 3 different size Allen keys. Just need to get them out here, and then you can just pop it in the front to exchange them quickly. You also have a file in here if you need to just clean up some edges or things that you have on your jobs, maybe like a tab or something you just need to sand off. You also mount this in here, not a problem. And then finally, also have a saw blade, pretty rigid saw blade that can easily cut through tabs, things like that. So very cool piece of equipment. You'll use this a lot. I promise you'll use this a lot with clamping. You know, if you ever need to access the back of the machine, you can use this tool. Very, very handy tool. It's a 4-in-1 screwdriver produced by us, and very excited about this.
Likewise. I think that's been some of my, as much as I've enjoyed using the new Z1s, using some of the new accessories and features and things like that have also been really cool. So I'm definitely excited for all you guys that are going to receive that as well.
Yeah. It seems like everybody's making screwdrivers these days, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Pretty cool.
It's cool. Not going to say any names, but yeah, it's a cool toolkit, and we're very excited about it. And you guys will use it like in so many different ways. We're excited to see what you guys do with it.
Yeah, awesome. I think we haven't given anything away for Roloff.
Okay, I think it's time. Let's give some more stuff away. We're here for giveaways, and I see people has been asking. I think people has been people was actually kind of shocked when they saw the Z1 has already been given away. But don't worry, guys. Stay tuned.
Yeah, let me as you get the giveaway ready, let me remind folks what giveaways are. So the first Z1 giveaway, that was a bit special. We did the wheel of names. We drew a lucky winner out of the 6,000 something folks that entered their email in the pre-sale warm-up. We are now doing our typical lucky draws with all of you viewing us live. So get your keyboards ready. Basically, what's going to happen is we're going to go throw a keyword on the screen. We're going to draw a couple different folks that entered the keyword, and you're going to win some stuff. And at the end of the stream, our grand prize will be a Makera Z1 to one of you lucky viewers. So definitely stick around. Before we give the Z1 away, we're going to give away some Makera points. So Makera points is kind of like free money that you can use in the Makera store. You can earn points by following us on social media, entering projects on Makerables, all that cool stuff. So you can earn points a bunch of different ways by collaborating in the Makera community. and you can earn points right now as being a winner in the stream. You can use those points in our store to redeem gift cards or prizes or swag or whatever. So a lot of these cool accessories we're talking about right now, multi-tools and the new bit collar installer and bits and clamps and whatever, you can, of course, just redeem those things and get them for free with your Makera points. So what is the first round here, Roloff?
Here we go. We are going to give away 6,000 points, which is worth $60, and that's quite a lot of tools. If you,
it is a lot of tools.
If you put that together, so let's put in a match text here. So it's all in the comment. I'm gonna put in here hashtag Makerables.
Hashtag Makerables, folks. Spelling does count.
Let's go.
How many bits can you get for, what is it, $60? I'm gonna go shopping while we're doing this. How many bits? How many bits can I get? I can tell you what, I want to get some bits, but I also want to get some bit collars, so you can go up to like 1/4 inch bits or things. So let's see.
Yeah,
I can get a cool. Go for it.
Yeah, someone had a question about the bit collars and why it's needed on the Z1 and on the Air. And on the Carvera. On the Carvera, it's needed for the automatic tool changer, for the tools to fit in the automatic tool changer. On the Z1 and Carvera Air, it's there for you to make sure that you put in the tool the correct length. If the tool's not in the collet all the way, you might have problems with some shatter or things like that. So just it's definitely still useful. You can use the machine without the collars. If you have tight tolerances, you need the tool you can use it, but you have to make sure that the tool is in the collar.
Yeah, so we recommend it for all of our machines. And at the moment, $60, I'm at like 24 tools at the moment. So that's a lot of tools. That is a lot of tools, folks, which is pretty cool. Or, the multi-tool and all that fun stuff too. All right. How are we looking? Where are we at here?
We're going.
Cool. That looks good.
We're still going.
Still counting. Come on, folks. Get your chance. We're going to get a couple lucky winners this time around. So stick with us. And again, this is not the only giveaway of the evening here, or morning, depending on what time it is, wherever you are in the world.
All right, what do we say?
I think we draw. Let's go.
Let's do it. First winner, 6,000 points,
is Vinilo. Sorry for butchering your name, but you just got 6,000 Makera points. Let's do it again.
Congrats.
Yeah, let's do it again. Some more.
Yeah, let's do it.
More points. Come on, folks. The more people who enter, the more points we can give away. So keep it coming here, folks. Let's go. All right, John Potts. That name sounds familiar. I feel like you've won something before. I could be wrong, but nonetheless, congratulations.
I lost my mouse. Oh, okay, there it is. Let's go again.
Yeah, let's do one more. Here we go, folks. 6,000 points. The third winner. Ooh.
Sir Rich Maloney.
7468. You just won $60 or 6,000 Makera points. Congratulations. All right, folks.
Congrats, guys.
How do they get their points?
So, to get your points, if you've won, you need to send an email to info@makera.com with your account, with a screenshot of your YouTube account, so we can just confirm that it's actually you, and then we will respond to that and make sure you get your points, so you can use it and buy, like, how many tools did you buy?
I got up to 24.
24 tools.
And I was kind of bouncing around a little bit. Some tools are more than others, right? If you go up to bigger tools, a bit more. If you're going for like tools for metal versus non-metal, but I was just bouncing around, a couple drill bits, corn bits, V bits, which are the ones I break all the time. So yeah, I got up to 24 tools.
Or you can just obviously you can just accumulate them, and maybe
Yeah.
at a later stage buy a Z1. If you go on the Makera site and you take part, in some of our giveaways, things like that, you get even more points. You get another live stream, you get even more points, and you put these things together. Maybe at a later stage
Points
you can
can
actually
go
buy a
far.
Z1.
Points can go
Yeah.
far. All right.
Yep.
Speaking of that, let's talk about some more stuff. Really common question we've been getting since the new accessory has been announced for not just the Z1, but also the Carvera Air and our other machines in the near future are the different probes you can use. So I want to showcase that to you now, right? So every Z1, and let me just double check I'm saying this correctly because I think this is right, but I don't want to give you the wrong information. Please hold. Please hold. Every Z1, as I said, does come with the wired Z probe, which I showed you, and it does. Every Z1 also comes with the 3D probe rod. So what's the difference? Wired Z probe, like this. Let me get nice and close. I don't know if that's going to focus. Did it focus? Yeah, kind of-ish. Wired Z probe, okay, this is the guy that's the default one that's going to be used to measure your thickness of your stock, as I mentioned earlier. It has the built-in laser to give you the scan margin to show you the position of your stock, as I showed you earlier. And it can also be used for what we call auto leveling, where it actually probes multiple points on your stock. You can do a ton of points if needed, and that will measure any warp or deviation in your stock and then compensate for the warping automatically, which is really handy if you're using a lot of rough cut metals, rough cut wood, or if you're making something like PCBs, because PCBs tend to flex and bow a little bit depending on how you store them. So this will measure the bow and then compensate for it and give you an even depth of cut across your entire stock. So 9 out of 10 times, this is probably the tool for you. And again, it's the default tool that comes with every Z1, also the Air and the Carvera, although the Carvera's is wireless rather than wired, but the concept is the same. The 3D probe rod is a little different. The 3D probe rod loads like a standard tool. It plugs into the same port as the Z probe, but it's actually a conductive tool. It's more like our alignment, our XYZ alignment block that you may have seen with the Carvera Air and the Carvera. And essentially, this can actually detect when it's touching a conductive material, i.e. metal. So this will detect when it touches the material from the top. So you can use it similar to the Z probe. I want to point out that this actually has a tactile button. So this button is depressed every time it touches any material, any surface, whether it's conductive or not. This only detects when it touches a conductive surface. So it can be used to measure the height of, let's say, a piece of metal, but it can also be used to measure the position of the metal by actually touching the sides of it in X and Y, or even if it was something circular, you could find the center of the object. So this is great not only for detecting your Z position of a piece of conductive material, but also your X and Y position of a piece of conductive material as well, where this one is really only useful for detecting Z and also getting your rough positioning. I also want to point out that you can totally use these things together. So for example, I often use this, the 3D probe rod, to figure out where my stock is located in X, Y, and Z, but then still throw my Z probe in just to give me that laser pointer scan margin for me to be sure that, yeah, my project's actually exactly where I want as just like a quick visual cue. So you can use them together as you get your stock aligned. And again, those are included with every Z1. The other new accessory that we are all really excited for is our 3D probe. So this guy, I don't know if that's super blurry or not, is a little different. So the 3D probe loads like any tool, plugs in using a USB-C port, etc. This plugs directly into the wired Z probe port on the Carvera Air and the Z1. And stay tuned, Carvera customers. But nonetheless, we have this 3D probe, and this is a little different. This, like the Z probe, is tactile, meaning that there's actually a button that is physically depressed. So it works on any material, conductive or non-conductive, woods, plastics, carbon fibers, metals, the whole thing. But it's not actually a button that goes up and down. Think of it more like a joystick on a video game controller. So it bends left, right, forward, backwards, and goes up and down. So again, this can be used to detect your Z height, but also your positioning of your stock as well. And when would you use one or the other? If alignment isn't critical, or if alignment is easy, for example, you take a square piece of stock, you align it up to anchor position 1, or you put it up in your vise, and you know the position of it, you can just set that position, measure your Z height, and you're golden. If alignment is a little bit more difficult, like let's say that the stock is an awkward size, it's an awkward position, it's a round coin, and you want to center your design perfectly on it, and it's really difficult to measure dead center on a circular object, that's where this guy comes super helpful when you're trying to do really difficult alignments. And the cool thing is, even though this is somewhat of a complex piece of kit, it's really easy to use. So let me show you how. I'm going to first bring up Makera Studio Beta again. Let me find my screen. Nope, I lost it. Please hold. Please hold. Share my screen. All right. Makera Studio, here we go. I'm going to connect to my other Z1 because I also have the vacuum table on this one, and the vacuum table is pretty cool. Let me just make sure I actually connected to the right machine. Yeah, I did. Cool. Excellent. All right. And actually right now it's confused. It thinks the 3D probe is installed, but it's not installed because I'm holding the 3D probe. So let me actually show you. Let me just set this to something else, right? So I'm just going to pretend like there's a tool in there. Okay. And let me just first load the 3D probe, and then we're going to use it to align to a piece of stock, right? So I'm in the controller. I have to load the 3D probe manually. So I click on my tool dropdown, I click change, and I click 3D probe. It then prompts me to put this guy in. Let me add my close cam for you, extra cam. Here we go. Close cam. And we can make this guy nice and big. All right. So come on over here, drop down my handle, put this probe in, lock it in place. And again, I do have to plug it in. So I'm going to grab my USB, plug that in there. And then this is just plugging in. I don't think you guys can barely see this. This is plugging in the same port as the wired Z probe. So I just unplugged my wired Z probe and plug that in instead. And I'm just going to push my action button to say that I loaded the probe, and it's going to go ahead and do that tool setting that I mentioned earlier, where it just measures the probe height and makes sure that everything's all set and that there's no homing issues or anything like that, right? So the probe is now in. Awesome. I have my vacuum table loaded. So this is another super cool accessory. The vacuum table is an alternative to using a vise or the clamps and stuff that Roloff and I mentioned earlier. Basically, I'm going to turn this on. Hopefully this isn't too loud. Can you still hear me okay, Roloff?
Yeah, the sound,
awesome.
Sounds
awesome.
good.
So my cyclone's connected. You'll see that I have these tubes here. So there's now suction coming through this table. So if I drop a piece of stock on, it actually holds it pretty firmly in place, at least if it's nice and flat. Like I can pull it off, but it grabs on pretty well for working with nice flat stock. And I'm just going to go ahead and get this lined up kind of square. All right, something like that. Okay. And let's say that I want to figure out not only how thick this is, but I want to figure out exactly where my X and Y is on this piece of stock to know that, okay, here's my material. I want to cut my part here, right? So let me come back over to the controller. Alrighty. Oops. Here we go. I'm just going to quick move to a rough position. Basically, what you have to do is you have to put your probe in an approximate starting position. It doesn't have to be really accurate because it will actually measure the sides and the position of the stock. You just have to be close. Like you don't want to spend an hour panning over really slowly, right? So you want to get yourself kind of close. So let me just move this in a rough position, and I'll bring the Z down a little bit so we don't have to wait too long, because right now I'm using my jog controls that are quite fast. And let me just take a look. I am, I don't know, 20-ish mil from the edge. So kind of sort of close. So now what I'm going to do to find the exact position of my stock, I'm going to click probe. You can see I can choose which probe am I using. So I'm going to say 3D probe. And you have a bunch of different options. You can center pick if it's like a coin or something like that. Inside pocket, which will probe the inside pocket to figure out where you are. This is going to be an outside corner. So again, I'm just trying to find the corner of my stock. I have to tell it where is it located on the stock. So what origin am I using? I align to the bottom left because that's just what I'm used to. And tell it roughly where it is. Yeah, it's about 25-ish mil over from the edge. So I think that should be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and then bring back the big cam. So you'll see that it's first going to go ahead and touch off to measure its Z height. So that's pretty similar to the Z probe. So that just measured the Z height of the stock. But now it's going to pan over, come past my stock, and then it's going to be used to measure where its, in this case, X position is. So it's finding its horizontal position, which is about there, right? And then it's going to come over and it's going to find its Y position in very much the same way. So that's just going to come on down. I'm now realizing I probably should have cleaned my machine a little bit. Sorry, that's not factory ready for this live stream. This machine has been used. So there we go, Y position. Cool. And then what it does is it comes over to its origin position. So this is now at the 0, 0 point, which is super handy. So let me bring back up Makera controller in the studio here. So now what I would do is, let's say I'm actually going to machine this. I would say, where do I want to cut my part from? Well, I'm actually going to cut it from its current position. So current position is now 0, 0, not of the anchor point, but 0, 0 of my stock, where it just measured X and Y and Z. And if I needed to offset my design, like let's say that I didn't design perfectly in the 0, 0 position, let's say I did it somewhere else in my cam, I could still enter a manual offset from now the corner of my stock. And that is, again, where maybe after I enter this offset position, like let's say I would go, 10 and 10, okay? I might still enable scan margin. I don't have to do auto Z probe. I already measured the Z height with the 3D probe, but I would still enable scan margin so I can throw in my wired probe just to get that laser pointer, that visual laser pointer, to make sure that like, yep, that is where I think it should be. And you'll also notice that there's a couple new features here in Makera Studio Beta for the Carvera Air, and more specifically the Z1, in that you can enable auto vacuum, so that will automatically turn on your cyclone and things like that. You can enable auto blow, so that's using the spindle fan to blow and cool your parts. You can enable auto bed clean, which means after it machines your part, it actually pans over the part and blows off all the dust to the back of the machine in kind of like a sweeping pattern. And anti-static is what I mentioned earlier, that if you're cutting something that has a lot of static energy, you can enable that and then reduce the static energy, which is all pretty cool. So I think that that's a feature that people have been asking for a while. There's some aftermarket open source 3D probes that are floating around in the community beta and things like that, which are pretty cool. We are pretty excited to have been able to design our own and launch it first with the Z1, and of course expanding to our entire line, because it can be a really useful tool for difficult alignments. So hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing that there.
Yeah. Fantastic, Jason. I think that was a good rundown. There was a few questions. Someone asked about, can you probe different corners of the stock? Yes, definitely. In the software, there was a little tab that shows you can do any corners of the stock.
Yep.
Yeah. What if the stock is not perfectly squared? This is a challenge in CNC machining. If the stock's not squared, you need to probably machine the stock to a square size you can actually work with to get really accurate results.
The answer to that is that there isn't a great answer, right? You do need 3 points to pick up from. You need an X, a Y, and a Z, right? So if the stock isn't perfectly square or perfectly round somewhat easy to work with, perfectly oval somewhat easy to work with. Like if you have a consistent width and a consistent depth, you can work with that. It's when it's an obscure or like a really rough piece of stock that makes your life a little difficult. And what I would suggest is if you can square up at least one side, then you're fine. Then you're fine. Yeah. Then you can give yourself a square edge to work from. You can measure over. But that's again where in those difficult places, and you can't even find center because it's so not square. That's where that laser pointer feature, that do margin feature of the scan margin, is golden, because what I even do sometimes, if I have like a weird piece of tree that I'm going to machine on, is I will sit there with my calipers on the stock and I will pencil line where I want my design to be, or I'll put down painter's tape and I'll draw on my painter's tape where I want my alignment to be. Then when I mount it to the bed of my CNC, I use that laser pointer, that scan margin feature, to make sure that that lines up perfectly with my pencil line. And I just move it around a little bit in the controller until I'm really happy with the position, and then I start machining. But there's never one perfect solution for every project, which is why having the Z probe, the probe rod, the 3D probe at your disposal, as well as just manual positioning, basically allows you to conquer pretty much anything that you come by.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a lovely explanation.
Well, thank you.
Before, I think we got a little too much into the machine. Let's give away some stuff, man. Like, let's
give away more points.
Yeah, let's give away some more points. What do you guys think?
Let's do some more points. And folks, just remember, after this one, it's a Z1, so stay with us. So how many points are we giving away this time, Rolo?
Let's do 10,000.
Awesome.
Not going to give away too many of them, but we will do a draw. Let's see how many people we get. Let me share my screen over here. Just a second.
Yep. So 10,000 points equals $100. So that's even more bits, or even some of the accessories that we're talking about today, which is pretty cool.
All right. And it's hashtag Makera Studio.
Spelling counts.
Spelling counts. Let's go.
Hashtag Makera Studio. Makera Studio, folks. Here we go. And
everybody,
I saw some questions popped up about what is our Makera Studio update, etc. Well, the update, in case you missed it, is that the beta is still active for Makera Studio and Makerables. There's a link in the chat somewhere. I will drop it in again towards the end of the stream. So if you want early access to test the beta version of Makera Studio, beta version of Makerables, as well as participate in our Makerables early beta contest, where you can win even more points and prizes and stuff for submitting projects, you can still join our beta group, which is going to be running for the next month or so. So definitely check that out.
You've been using it a lot, Jason?
I have been using a lot. I will be honest, I have not published as many projects as I probably should have. So my publishing is quite poor at the moment. I've been making a lot of videos and stuff. So there's many projects in the pipeline, but I've been using the features a lot. The AI features are pretty cool. As you know, I like to engrave things with my dog's face on it. It is an obsession of mine.
It's been a trend.
It's been a trend. It's been a trend. You may have noticed if you've seen our streams before. I have a dog. His name is Charlie. I like him a lot. So yeah, I've been using the AI features to make like cool reliefs. It is, Mother's Day wasn't too long ago. Father's Day is coming up. So some pretty cool engravings and gifts and custom, bottle openers and things like that. So I've been able to use some things that would have taken me, somebody who has a lot of CAD experience, an hour or two to do, is minutes. And that's pretty cool.
That's
also, the 3D Probe, by the way, is on sale right now for $89. So if you win these points, you can get a 3D Probe for free and a couple bits on top of that.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff available. Check it out on makera.com.
Yep.
What do we say?
I think we're there, folks. I think we're there. So I think a lucky one of you is going to get 1,000 or 10,000 Makera points, which is $100.
Let's go. Let's go.
Here we go. Winner.
Dr. Disco.
Dr. Disco. I'm glad you said that, because I was about to say like Disco and embarrass myself, which I guess I just did. Yeah, cool. Congratulations. You just won 1,000 Makera points, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I think it's your turn to
let me show you guys some more things.
A couple more accessories, folks, and then we are going to do our final giveaway in just a little bit. So stick with us, everybody. Stick with us.
All right. So what else am I going to show you here? Let me go to my little box of cool things next to me over here. Let's first talk about this box. This is an engraving module. It's similar to the one that you get on the Carvera Air machine. Let me just pop up this cam. so you can see what I'm doing here. This pretty much looks like the one that you'll get in your box. I just opened the glasses out of the packet, so it's not exactly the same that you'll see. But it's, yeah, so what we have in here is, first of all, safety first. We know that if we do work with lasers, we need to protect our eyes. So guys, keep them on. That's the first thing. We have a little cable. We have a cable. And then we have the actual laser module. Now let's take a look at this thing. So the way that this is mounted, this yellow sticker shows forward. So this is how it's mounted in the machine. You'll see a little trigger switch at the back there that needs to be lined up. So even if you like mount this thing in a different orientation, then it will not work because the trigger will not be engaged if it's mounted in a different orientation than it should be. You also have this like magnetic base that you can remove if you ever need to. But it's very useful just for that exposure of the laser light. If you have, this in a working environment or something like that. You can also see at the laser nozzle, there's a, or at the laser, where the laser actually shines out, there's a little air inlet here that you can actually use with the laser to actually keep any burns to a minimum. So you'll see when you use most lasers in general, you always have like a black burn mark. But if you connect the air connection to this, or a compressor that you have on hand, you can actually get some very nice cuts with this laser. There's a fan on this side, so you get some airflow on it, and then the PCB board for the laser sits on here. It's a 5-watt laser, so you can do some interesting things with it. It's not going to cut through metal. It's not made for that. But if you're doing like tiny engravings in wood, on paper, doing cuts in cardboard, vinyl, any like thin materials, papers, cardboards,
PCBs,
it's a very
silk screen, solder mask.
If you want to like cure your solder mask in specific areas, you can use this. So it's a very versatile tool. If you want to cut through a material, you use the CNC part of the CNC for it. This is just an extra that you can add onto your final projects. Things like this, if you maybe want to engrave a small logo or do things like that, then you can use this. So a very cool tool that can be used in many different ways. And I can show you how easy to use to mount it, but I think Jason's got a camera set up there. Do you have a laser close by?
Sure do. Close cam. Here we go.
There we go.
So let me pop out my 3D probe. Easy peasy. And oh, look at that! I had a laser module just sitting there. Wow.
Wow.
And
it lines up, like it's planned.
Spindle, locks in place, and that's it. I've turned my Z1. I have to plug it in, so I run that wire up here. So I do have to plug it in, but I didn't have one of those ready. So now my Z1 just became a diode laser. And the really cool thing about this, as Roloff said, is we're not trying to turn this into a laser. Like, this is not trying to become, a high fiber laser. It's not. But because you don't have to remove your spindle, you can just put this in and it's centered, and all your X, Y, and Z and calibration points are the same. If I had this piece of wood in here and I just milled out a custom, design, there's no lasers that can cut through 10 mil, 20 mil, 30 mil thick walnut without burning it, right? So my CNC can cut through this easy peasy. And then maybe I engrave something right on the surface. And that's exactly, as Roloff said, what it's designed for, which is pretty cool. And remember, you can also use your Cyclone and your Cyclone Light as an air purification system. So that way all the exhaust coming off of your laser is filtered as well.
I've got another box.
You do? What's the other box?
I do. This is the 4th axis for the Z1 and for the Z1 Pro. So you'll open the box. I have opened this before. I'm sorry.
Ah, man, I thought you were going to pull some plastic off of it. Come on now.
No, we'll keep that for the edited video and the actual unboxing video. I filmed some nice.
That's fair.
Some nice things there for you to listen to as well. So 4th axis. Let me show you what you get in this box. You get some chuck wrenches. Now you can use them to obviously clamp your materials and things in this chuck. And you can mount your materials. Like, you can see how wide this can open up. Let me give you a little close-up look. This is what it looks like.
Yep.
You
Looks
see the
good.
stepper motor. There's a gearbox in here, and there's the drive, and then we have the tail stock that can also be mounted to the other end of the stock, and then you can have your stock properly secured. And this is very useful. You know, in the current state of the software, you can use this as a relief. Currently, our software does not have the index milling, but it's coming very soon. So we're very excited about that feature. We're also bringing out the simultaneous y-axis relief. So a true fourth axis, which actually uses the y-axis as well, where it's currently only 3.5. So it's a very cool feature. You can do materials like aluminum, copper, brass, woods, plastics. Very versatile tool, and like Jason showed, it's such an easy device that just can be mounted. It uses the same alignment pins that you have on the vise. It uses the same alignment pins you have on the vacuum bed. So a very cool tool for you to actually do projects and actually cut the underside of projects. If you have a cool, you know, circular part, you can use this.
For sure. And again, really not that much of a challenge to set up. And thanks to things like 3D generation, 3D model generation, and things like that, and Makerables, it's not even that difficult to make, you know, a model suitable for fourth axis machining anymore, which is kind of crazy because it used to be, you know, like the hardest level of CNC machining was 4 and 5 axis, and now, you know, there can be really difficult things: index milling, rotating different parts, drilling a lot of holes, threading holes. Like that can still be some of the most difficult things you might achieve. But creating, I don't know, my dog, for example, out of a block of wood as a 3D figurine is actually quite simple, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like there's so many examples and things that you can do on this, and I see people on Discord, you know, sharing their things that they're doing. You know, there's actually like some people that's doing incredible things with the fourth axis, and you know, with just so many different projects.
I would say
Such
that
a
if
cool
anyone,
tool.
I would say that if there's anyone who is new to our Makera community, and maybe even if you haven't gotten your machine yet, or if you are a potential person who wants to, like, oh, should I buy one or should I not buy one? Go to Discord. I mean, listen, I think our team does a good job. I think our social media is pretty cool. We try to show a lot of different types of projects and show the different things you might be able to do. But I think the best way to learn and see what you can actually do is to talk to people that are doing it, right? So our Discord, our Facebooks, they are super active. I would say the Discord is the most active, with people, you know, perhaps not just sharing like this, but actually back and forth conversations and a really cool community. So yeah, go talk to like real people who have the Carvera Air, the Z1, of course, soon, and see what they're doing, see what projects they're making, ask them questions. And I know you and I both, Roloff, have learned so much from the community. So that's definitely a place to go for all of our customers. And even if you're considering joining our community, it's just a place to go and see what's actually happening.
Yeah, definitely recommend that. And even for troubleshooting, you know, things like that, if you have some sort of problem, we can easily find a fix for it, you know, things like that. It's a real-time chat.
Speaking
and we
of
have
that,
some staff members. We have some staff members on there too. So, you know, we keep an eye on it. It's mostly for the community, but we keep an eye on it.
People are asking us to drop the invite link in the chat, which I can do. Where is it? Please hold, guys. I will find you the Discord link. Community. Here we go. 1 second. I'll tell you what, instead of just doing the Discord link, I'm going to give the link to all of our communities. So Discord, Facebook, etc. Check out the link in the chat to find all that stuff there.
And yeah, that's all the accessories we can touch on now.
That was a lot.
There's more things. There's like the PCB manufacturing kit. There's a bunch of other accessories, materials, tools, and things like that on the website. You know, these also kind of accessories.
Didn't talk
mean,
about the different types of tools, single flute versus corn bit versus bean bit. You know, there's so many things. And in reality, obviously, we haven't really shown you the design process of making. And that wasn't the goal for the stream. The goal was to be like, yeah, the Z1 is here. It's of course shipping to all you Kickstarter folks. It is available for purchase to everyone that wants to get on. And there's so many different accessories and things to consider, not only for this machine, but for all of our machines. So hopefully we did a good job at, you know, showing you some of those different options to consider and answering a lot of the questions we've been getting in our social group. So definitely stay tuned, because in the upcoming streams that we have going on, we are going to do a deep dive on more specific projects. Like, for example, I know we have one in the works for fourth axis specifically, and deep dives of Makera Studio, and lots of really other cool projects and things like that. So definitely stay tuned for some of the cool stuff that we have in the pipeline.
Yeah. Something that's cool in the pipeline right now, that's happening now. I think let's get right into it.
We're going to do another giveaway?
I think we should do a final giveaway.
Folks, get your keyboards ready. Big. Let's go, folks. This is the one. This is the big one. We are going to give one of you a Makera Z1. So get that keyboard ready. Get ready for your keyword. You guys know how it works. Spelling does count. Capitalization does count. And yeah, the prize for this one is going to be a Makera Z1 sent to you sometime soon. So let's see what we have going on here, Roloff. What is the keyword?
Hashtag Z1.
Capital Z?
Go. Capital Z.
Here we go, folks. Hashtag Z1. Ready, steady, go.
Capital Z.
Capital Z, everybody. Are we getting them? Are they coming in? Yeah.
They're coming.
Awesome. So yeah, one of you is gonna totally get a Z1, which is super exciting. Yeah. Super exciting. Hopefully you've enjoyed the live stream thus far, and you didn't only come for the giveaway and the free stuff. Hopefully you came for our company as well. But I get it. This one's pretty exciting. Definitely, for sure. And to be clear, again, those folks that won the Z1 earlier on was from our pre-sale warm-up. This is all of you with us right now live entering this keyword. We're going to draw from one of you right now. So definitely get ready. Here we go, folks. Let's see. Exciting things. Yeah, they're counting up. While we're doing this, again, we mentioned this earlier. Stay tuned for Open Sauce. That's going to be our next event. Is going to be on July 18th and 19th in San Francisco. Not only will we be there live with the whole team making stuff right there at the event, we're going to do a live stream. So you will be able to see Roloff and I at Open Sauce. We're going to be walking around, talking to people, seeing cool stuff that are happening in the maker community. So definitely stay tuned. I'm not sure if the live streams is going to be on the 18th or the 19th just yet. It'll be during that Open Sauce weekend. So definitely stay tuned for that. And yeah, that'll be the next one in just over a month. Really not too far away at all.
Yeah, we're very excited. It's going to be a good trip.
Yep.
And we're going to have a bunch of Z1s there.
I think, and
5. They're going to be working.
Yeah, I think we have 5. Well, I think we're having like 6 or I think 7 or 8 machines on the show floor making stuff. And again, we're going to have Makera Studio set up. We have this pretty cool photo booth thing that we've been working on that people are going to be able to, like, basically, I don't want to give away too much, but it involves taking a picture and milling, and I'll let you guys connect the dots. I think you'll like it. It'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Is this it?
Say?
I think this is the moment.
It?
I think this is the moment. Here we go. Who's going to get a Z1?
Right. Let's go.
I'm excited. Let's see. All right. You
are www digital.
Just want to make Makera Z1. Congratulations. Super excited for you. Lots of making and creation on the way to you. So again, huge congratulations, but also congratulations to all the winners. The one that got a Z1 earlier on, the folks that got some sweet Makera points. Congratulations to everybody. As a reminder, if you did win something in the lucky draws, so that was the YouTube one, not the one that we did with the pre-sale emails, we already have your email. Everyone else, to claim your prize, screenshot your account info, send it to info@makera.com so we know it's you, and we will figure out how to get your prizes to you. And again, a huge congrats to all of our winners, and a congrats to all of you Kickstarter backers that you keep dropping your backer numbers and stuff in the chat. We're super excited that all the Z1s are shipping this week and the Z1 Pros are next week. So that is really, really exciting for everybody. So lots of cool fabrication and creation coming your way soon.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. It's been a great time. Is there anything else from your side, Jason?
From my side, I think we're good. We have to remind them about the beta group, I think. But
yeah, I'll just give a quick recap just about the beta group that's still ongoing. We have our phase 2 for Makerables that's ongoing, and Makera Studio beta group is currently still in progress, but there's still space if anybody wants to join that. We have Jason will share the link in the chat if you still want to join that group. There is prizes to give away. We're trying to get content for our Makerables. You know, even if it's just a basic project, small project, it's something that can be useful for someone else. You know, it's a cool place to share because it's for the community. So if you still want to join that, you sign up via that form. We approve it in the next day or so, and then we give you access to the Discord channels where we discuss the studio and the Makerables.
Sounds good. Definitely check that out. Some folks are saying, like, how do I get Makera Studio now? That's how. And how do I win more prizes and Makera points? That's how. And also, of course, Presale is live. The presale is active right now. June 30th is the end of the first wave of the presale. So between now and June 30th, you get the most savings, the most prizes, and you still have a chance to get early access shipping, which would be shipping sometime in July. But again, spots are limited. Spots are limited. So the faster you act, the more likely you are to get an earlier shipping date. And of course, after the 30th, we still have some presale promotions, but not all of those gifts. So the most savings and stuff right now is happening between now and June 30th. So definitely check that out on the Makera store at makera.com. So
fantastic.
I think that's it there, Roloff. Hopefully
that's it.
Lots of stuff. So as always, it was great seeing you on this side of the screen. I'm excited to see you in just a couple weeks on this side of the screen. And yeah, to everyone that joined us, whether it's midday, early in the morning, super late, whatever it is, thank you, everybody. We've appreciated your company, and we're super excited to see you again sometime soon. So cheers, folks.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.